Welcome back, guys, to GX14 Studios. This is your background lore. I don't think a lot of LEGO channels do this for their stop motion series, but we are, because we want you guys to be filled in. Excuse me. Now, before we start, we're just going to do a quick minifig explanation, I think.
Alright.
So, Kevin, do you want to start?
Sure. This is just a new survivor right here, nothing much to him.
Should you tell them his name?
Henry Ford?
Henry Ford.
Yeah, his name. He just has a scar with like a attached kitchen knife. Like he didn't really attach, he probably just like duct taped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing much to him. Oh. And here's the new guy that you saw in the new mock.
Two of the new guys.
Oh yeah, two of them. Yeah, he is. I think he's all around nice. He does have back decaling. You guys can probably see a little bit of there. But I put the backpack on him just to have more. Just make him look like more of like a wanderer. He says the blooper. I call it the thumper. I really don't give a shit. M16, the close quarters type shit. The other new guy, also Simpsons brick pants and torso. What's it called? Oh, AKA Pac. Sawed-off double-barrel shotgun. These two guys were both former Marines. And they were mercs in the China vs. Russia shit that you're gonna hear in like a couple minutes.
Not China versus Russia. You'll find, well, kind of. We'll see.
Yeah, now Carl's figures.
Okay, this is a Soldier of Iron veteran. He's wearing the power armor. He's got a minigun. Very much Fallout inspired. But you'll see how it's different soon enough. And then we have a standard Soldier of Iron. He's a sniper. Not a Soldier of Iron veteran. Now, Soldiers of Iron veterans, I can make 4 power armor versions, and I am going to be making the 4 power armor versions pretty soon. Well, the 4 more power armor Soldiers of Iron veterans, but I do need to get more supplies for them, so I'm going to make the alternate Soldier of Iron veteran for you guys, and you'll see him soon enough. But now on to the actual lore.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, how much do you actually know?
You know, just say it.
Okay. Alright, so it's 2016. Donald Trump wins the election. We are going to make this country great. Terrible impression. Okay. But it's going to be huge. And then, as he's campaigning, fast forward 2020. He's campaigning for re-election. Well, it's the waning months of the election season. He says, "Oh, hey, Hillary!" Hillary goes, Hillary is promptly shot dead, but she was a zombie at his rally. Don't know why she would be there. But he went crowd waiting, and he got bit. He's the second U.S. citizen to be infected, pretty much. Just kidding. He's not. He's not at all. He's infected. And that whole infection starts, basically. So, on that same fateful day, China and Russia fell during this dangerous zombie apocalypse. However, in January of 2017, Russia invades the Ukraine. However, Russia is quickly defeated in a 3-month war, ending in March, when the US, Ukraine, and the forces of NATO quickly bring a swift defeat. Putin is ousted, and a Democratic Party signs on to NATO. This is the beginning of a powerful alliance between the US and Russia. In April, China and North Korea begin a joint attack on South Korea and neighboring Asian nations. Russia was supposed to participate. However, due to Russia not participating, China had to take on a bulk of the operations. Unfortunately, this caused China's army to be overstretched, and South Korea and Japan and neighboring Asian nations quickly defeated North Korea's forces, with China being attacked by both Russia and the U.S. In a new alliance. Then, when this 3-month war is ended, China quickly becomes democratic, as it's proven that the Communist Party is not powerful or full enough. So, and in June of 2017, the alliance between the U.S., Russia, and China is created. China becomes an international partner of NATO. And quickly, they begin plotting. The three great nations begin a huge new sort of trade help and stuff. Yeah. So, with the three together, they managed to create something that would allow the three nations to create huge new industries and an amazing new fuel. 50 times more efficient than oil. And all other fossil fuels. But a key ingredient is crude oil, and all sorts of oils. So basically, they still need oil, but they have an amazing new fuel. And oil substitutes could be used, except they wouldn't be as efficient or as less polluting. Don't quote me on the science there. But while this storm is brewing, the Middle East unites. They unite under the leadership of Saudi Arabia and Iran. Egypt is not part of it. However, they create the first zombie viruses and declare war on China, Russia, the U.S., and Israel. The four nations form a huge alliance. NATO is involved, however, NATO quickly has to combat zombie invasions and invasions from other armies. This event is in the first 3 months of 2018. However, eventually the Middle East becomes known as the Glass Bowl because of all the nuclear weapons that were fired, turning the desert into glass. Though China, Russia, and the U.S. only fired one nuclear missile each, this was at Iran. Which was launching. Each nation in the Middle East had several nukes, and those nukes somehow were turned against each other as a bitter rivalry. Trillions of dollars of oil and financial assets were taken from the Middle East, and the Middle Eastern armies suffered huge and crushing defeats. At the hands of the U.S., Russia, and China. And quickly, the war was over. But many troops had to get out before nukes were dropped. However, many nukes were supposedly hacked, but really, they were hacked to where they could only be fired within the Middle East. It soon turned. The last few days were a bloody nuclear civil war among the Islamic allies, and the Islamic allies nuked each other, turning the whole Middle East into glass. Free of oil, just glass and radiation and deadly heat.
Maybe Africa.
Well, now on to Africa. Africa, with the hundreds of thousands and millions of refugees fleeing, some of them, but the first perfected true zombie virus that could spread through the air was destroyed by nuclear hellfire. However, and many zombie labs were overtaken. The first zombie virus was crude and had to be injected into a corpse to do so. So, now, we're going to try and keep this minute, we're going to try and finish up. So basically, eventually, terrorists, after 2 years of hard work and trying to recover data, finally were able to launch their assault. And they infected. Now, with all this new assets, NATO had managed to fight off all the invading armies and zombies. And basically, the U.S., however, decided, with its newest assets and all oil, decided to boost its industries with the new fuel, this new super fuel and economies and stuff, yeah. Same with Russia and China. However, the U.S. decided to invest in fortifications around the country and boosting their military. They did not downsize. In fact, they had increased the size of the military. China and Russia mainly invested in industry and infrastructure and economy. Instead of boosting their military, they both downsized by about 75%. And these infrastructures quickly, due to high-speed trains and the work of these Islamic militants, the Islamic militants took over all the control stations for trains, trucks, and automatic vehicles, and allowed the zombies to be transported. It allowed zombies to be transported all over the country quite easily, as the drone systems of these high-speed vehicles did not recognize the difference between a zombie and a human. And quickly, Russia, China fell. India was also attacked, and India fell. In Africa, the zombie virus was rampant, and mercenaries had to fight there. In South America, same thing, except cartels wanted power. It was not united against the zombies. It was a bloody war between governments and cartels, mercs, and zombies. Anything you want to add, Kevin? Also, Mike Pence, Governor Pence is now president.
These two, they were there in Syria, like during the Glass Bowl War.
Oh wait, I have some more Syrian war fighters.
Yeah, so those two were also there, and they were also in China during the conflict between them and Russia.
Okay, so these 3 guys, see them? Yeah, these guys, they were also in Syria during the Glass Bowl War, but they fought in the Middle East. Well, they fought in Africa and South America. Just wanted to show you guys some examples,
So they fought in there.
Yeah, so just...
These two were Marines in Syria, but in China, they were just there as, I guess, mercenaries.
Oh, yeah, and we are going to do a prequel season, hopefully, but it's going to be, shorter, guys. It's only going to be, probably 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We'll probably do it during this season, I guess.
I'd say around, Christmas time.
Around Christmas time, we will do the Russia-China prequel, and you'll get to see some Chinese citizens screaming in horror as they get mauled by zombies. This video is almost coming to the maximum amount of time we can upload currently, 15 minutes. So we just want to thank you guys for watching this and sitting through and finding out the lore. I hope we did not bore you too much.
If you actually made it to the end, comment down
below, my friends.
No, comment pancakes if you actually made it this far, right?
And please rate, comment, and subscribe.
Stay tuned for more content.